If you've been hard stuck in the same arena for weeks, losing to players you swear you should have been beating, or constantly feel like your opponents always know something you don't, it's not your cards, your levels, or bad luck. It's because every arena has hidden strategies that most Clash Royale players never learn. So today, I'm gonna be breaking down the best tips for every single arena so you can stop tilting, stop guessing, and start climbing instantly. Arena 1, Goblin Stadium. In the Goblin Stadium, you unlock the Goblins, Spear Goblins, Goblin Cage, and the Goblin Hut. The best free-to-play deck here is Giant plus any sort of support cards. Place the Giant in front, then the Archers or Spear Goblins behind to chip the tower safely. The Goblin Hut looks fun, but I wouldn't suggest it right now. Save your gold. Focus on the Giant, Archers, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. The lesson here is efficiency. Don't overspend, defend cheap, and push with the leftover troops. Arena 2, Bone Pit. Here you get the Skeletons, Bomber, Tombstone, and the Valkyrie. The free-to-play players should put their gold into the Valkyrie as she's broken in almost every arena. The Bomber is also a reliable splash card which you can experiment with. The Tombstone teaches you defensive building placements which are vital for you to know in Clash Royale as it will engage both towers. Skeletons are the perfect distraction and can help you cycle to other cards quickly. The big lesson in Bone Pit is to learn the basic defensive mechanics of the game. The Valkyrie and Bomber are great splash cards for you to learn to use. Arena 3, Barbarian Bowl. Cannon, Barbarians, Mega Minion, and the Battle Ram arrive here. Cannon is your best budget building. Always place it in the middle to pull tanks. The Mega Minion is a great air defender and a safe long-term investment. Avoid spending gold on Barbarians as they're not very good in the meta right now. The Battle Ram teaches you about split lane pressure and how to apply pressure when they don't have a counter to it. The lesson here is counter push, defend smart, and send your surviving troops forward with the tank. Arena 4, Spell Valley. Beast Spirit, Fire Spirit, Skeleton Dragons, Bomb Tower, Inferno Tower, and the Wizard show up here. For the free-to-play player, Zap is king. Try to upgrade it as soon as you can because it gives you so much value versus pesky cards which you will face quite a bit in the future. The Inferno Tower is excellent for shutting down tanks, but always keep the Zap or E-Spirit to reset the enemy's Inferno Tower. The Wizard is powerful but fragile. Don't overspend gold to upgrade him unless you plan on using a Wizard deck. Spell Valley teaches you spell value. Use your Fireball or arrows when you can hit multiple units and you'll gain a massive Elixir advantage which you can use on offense and overwhelm. Before we move on to the next tip, make sure to like and hype the video and join the Discord group which is linked in the description of this video where we talk about everything. Arena 5, Builder's Workshop. Here you unlock the Bats, Zap, Mortar, Flying Machine, Hog Rider, and the Rocket. The Hog is your real first free-to-play win condition. Pair him up with cheap cycle cards like the Skeletons, Ice Spirit, and the Cannon as he thrives in Hog Cycle decks. Hog Cycle is cheap, efficient, and perfect for climbing up without legendary cards. The Mortar is also a very strong win condition for those who like Siege, which basically means you try to attack your enemy's tower from your side of the arena. The Builder's Workshop teaches pressure. Push with the Hog or the Mortar and try to defend with cheap cards and cycle back to your win condition for constant damage. Arena 6, P.E.K.K.A.'s Playhouse. Now you get the Goblin Barrel, Guards, Skeleton Army, Baby Dragon, Witch, and the P.E.K.K.A. The free-to-play players should experiment with Lockbait, especially with the Goblin Barrel and the Skarmy. The Baby Dragon is a card worth upgrading because he works in many decks as a splash support card. The P.E.K.K.A. is a great tank killer but expensive to play and level up. In this arena, there are going to be a lot of people using Inferno Towers and bait cards which make P.E.K.K.A. not the best card to be using. The big lesson here is baiting spells. Throw your Goblin Barrel to force out a Zap or arrows, then punish with the Skeleton Army on defense when their counters are out of cycle and vice versa. Arena 7, Royal Arena. Royal Giant, Royal Recruits, Royal Hogs, 3 Musketeers, Dark Prince, and the Balloon unlock here. For the free-to-play player, the Royal Giant is one of the best long-term investments as he is one of the best win conditions ever. He stays viable even at Ultimate Champion, which is the highest level in Clash Royale. Balloon is another option if you're committed to leveling up air win conditions. Avoid the 3 Musketeers at all costs as it's too risky and too expensive. The lesson in Royal Arena is managing multiple win conditions. Since you unlock a bunch of win conditions, try to figure out what works best for you and choose the best one. Also, make sure to have the Valkyrie and some good distraction cards to help out on defense. Arena 8, Frozen Peak. The Frozen Peak adds a bunch of new cards like the Ice Spirit, Giant Snowball, Ice Golem, Battle Healer, Vines, Freeze, Giant Skeleton, and the Lightning. The free-to-play player's path is the Royal Giant Lightning deck or the Balloon Freeze deck if you've leveled up air troops. The Ice Golem is a must upgrade as it's a cheap, tanky, and useful kiting card to use. The freeze spell wins games when timed correctly, but don't rely on it on every push. The lesson here is timing. Freeze, Lightning, and kiting with the Ice Golem all reward precise plays. Arena 9, Jungle Arena. You unlock a bunch of new cards, but the free-to-play players should be focusing on the Poison and the Dark Goblin as they are strong cards to be using for the upcoming meta. The Dark Goblin is a fantastic versatile card in log bait decks and is also used in a variety of cycle decks. The Goblin Giant is another win condition you unlock here, and it's possibly one of the best win conditions in the meta right now, so I suggest you guys upgrade that card for pretty much free wins. The lesson here is chip pressure. Poisoning a tower while defending or sneaking in skeleton barrel damage builds slow but steady wins. Arena 10, Hog Mountain. Tesla, Minion Horde, Elite Barbs, Furnace, Zappies, Hunter, Expo, and Golem are available here. For the free-to-play players, stick to Hog Cycle and try to use the Inferno Tower because of the beatdown meta. Hunter is a great defensive investment, but I won't suggest it as there are better cards to be using right now. Tesla is a reliable building that you can use in your decks as it attacks both air and ground troops. Golem is probably one of the most broken win conditions right now, and it's because there are so many unbalanced support cards that are cracked right now. You can use the Expo as well, but it's not in the best spot because it's a beatdown meta right now. Arena 11, Electro Valley. Here you unlock most of the legendary cards, but as a free-to-play player, don't get distracted. The Miner is a great legendary card if you unlock him, but not a must-have. The Mega Knight is very popular, but way too costly to upgrade. Stick to Hog or Royal Giant because both are reliable and easy to upgrade as free-to-play players. The Electro Valley teaches you resets. Sparky, Inferno Dragon, Inferno Tower dominate this arena. Unless you carry like a Zap or E-Spirit, you're gonna be cooked. Arena 12, Spooky Town. Firecracker, Earthquake, Goblin Demolisher, Wallbreakers, E-Dragon, Ice Wizard, Royal Ghost Phoenix, and the Graveyard show up. For the free-to-play player, the Firecracker is an amazing, cheap, defensive, and it pretty much stays relevant in most Hog Cycle decks or any sort of control deck you can use that. The Earthquake pairs up perfectly with the Hog Rider to shred buildings, which you can add to your deck. The Graveyard is a good card, but too legendary dependent to focus on right now. I would suggest you to stick to a solid free-to-play win condition and level up your support cards like the Earthquake, like the Poison, like the Firecracker, and not get distracted. Spooky Town teaches prediction. Knowing when to poison, when to Earthquake, when to spell cycle, and when to attack wins you the games. Arena 13, Rascal's Hideout. Rascal's, Heal Spirit, Suspicious Bush, Bowler, E-Giant, Band-Aid, Magic Archer, and the Lava Hound are finally here. For the free-to-play players, the Rascals and Bowler are strong investments because they're great counter-attacking cards. The Lava Hound is way too expensive unless you're already running an air deck, which makes a lot more sense. Avoid dumping gold into the E-Giant. He's powerful but very inconsistent. The lesson in this arena is spacing. Magic Archer, Bowler, and splash cards punish poor placements. Make sure you stagger your units on defense to not give spell value as it can help you with the counter push when attacking. Before we move on to the next tip, make sure to like and hype the video and join the Discord group, which is linked in the description of this video, where we talk about everything. Arena 14, Royal Delivery, Elixir Golem, Goblin Curse, Rage, Goblin Drill, Executioner, Lumberjack, and the Night Witch are here. Free-to-play players should test out the Goblin Drill. It's a rare card, easy to level up, and can be a sneaky win condition. You can use the Goblin Drill in a variety of control decks, which are very strong in defense and go off counterattacks. The Executioner plus Tornado is a very strong combo if you're invested in both. The Lumberjack and Night Witch are costly. Skip them unless you want to play beatdown. Arena 14 is all about defensive efficiency. Survive pushes cheap and then punish with your win condition or counter push. Arena 15, Miner's Mine. In this arena, free-to-play players should be very focused on their main deck right now. Don't dump your gold into the Mother Witch or Fisherman yet. The biggest mistake is trying to add new legendary cards into your deck in Arena 15. Use your main deck, level it up, and learn matchups. Arena 16, Executioner's Kitchen. Here's where champions unlock. You get the Golden Knight and the Skeleton King. As free-to-play players, champions are hard to level up compared to other cards. Don't worry, stick to the free-to-play decks like the Hog Cycle or Royal Giant decks as they still dominate without champions. Upgrade your core common or rare cards as you can get them at a very high level at this point. Try to understand the meta and shape your deck accordingly depending on matchups. But if you do decide on using champions, the lesson here is ability management. Champions are powerful, but the abilities cost elixir. If you bait or waste your ability, you can punish them hard. Arena 17, Royal Crypt. Mighty Miner, Archer Queen, and the Boss Bandit appear. They're strong, but again, expensive to level up. Just stick to free-to-play cards and free-to-play decks for more consistency. The main lesson in Royal Crypt is patience. Try to figure out your enemy's win condition and figure out what cards you have to counter it. If your enemy overspends, punish the opposite lane and you'll win games even without matching card levels, as you understand the game a lot better than most over-level players in this arena. Arena 18, Silent Sanctuary. Lil Prince, Goblinstein, and the Monk unlock here. The Monk is one of the best defensive champions, but don't focus on him if you cannot level him up. The Goblinstein is a safe card because it offers counter-attacking potential. The longer cards like the Monk or Lil Prince survive, the stronger they get. At this point, you can try to experiment with champion cards as they offer a lot of value even at a lower level. From here, I'm going to be sharing more advanced tips. Welcome to Dragon Spa, Arena 19, where beatdown is everywhere. Lava Hound plus Balloon, or Golem plus Night Witch, or the Classic Witch are just classic tower trading combos. So as a free-to-play player, you need 2 solid air counters and 1 card that can shred tanks in every deck. Think Musketeer plus Tesla or Archers plus Mini P.E.K.K.A. You need to be leveling up air cards if that's what you're looking for, and Lava Loon is your best way to go. Otherwise, you can just stick to Hog Cycle, as that stays as the best option because you can chip their tower, spell their building, and reset before they can cycle back. The real lesson here is addressing air control and beatdown decks. So make sure you have troops that can target air and ground troops from a range. Arena 20, Boot Camp. Boot Camp is all about efficiency. As a free-to-play player, pick a lane. Either stick with the Hog EQ deck and keep your average elixir low, or continue using your main decks. Defend for positive elixir trades and use your support troops on defense, and then counterattack with your win condition. Avoid big elixir investments at once in single elixir time unless you have baited out their counters. The player who spends less elixir for more value wins almost every game here. Arena 21, Clash Fest. At Clash Fest, the meta leans into prediction and pressure. You'll run into a lot of minor wall breakers cycle decks, log bait decks, and fast Magic Archer lineups that punish bad placements. Try to be smart with your plays, like pre-log a likely Goblin Gang or set up a bait plan for you to capitalize on. Try to use your tower as a resource for you to get an elixir advantage by taking damage. The lesson is simple: outthink their cycle, force out their building or their spell, and apply pressure where it makes a lot of sense. Arena 22, Pancakes. This one's a meme name, but the games aren't no joke. Bait decks are super common in this arena. Princess at the Bridge, tricky barrel placements, and rocket finishes. If you're a free-to-play player and are comfortable with bait, this is your playground. Common/rares carry the load. If you're not a bait player, keep the log or arrows locked in and don't give free value. Make sure you place your troops off center so Princess and Magic Archer don't snipe 2 targets at once, getting value on your tower. Winning here is about mind games. Change up your placements, stagger your support, and make their counters look late every single time by outcycling. Finally, Arena 23, the legendary arena. Arena 23 is where everyone's cards are strong, so free-to-play players win by mastering one reliable deck. Don't waste your gold on everything. Max out your core cards and stick to that one archetype. Learn your spell map. Know exactly how much a Fireball plus Log does or 2 Earthquakes will do, so you can finish towers without guessing. Watch your opponent's rotation. If their cannon or building is out of cycle, that's your window to strike. Every placement matters. One bad Musketeer drop or one misplaced cannon can cost the entire game. Defend efficiently, then turn the defense into a counterattack instead of overspending an offense in the first place. At this stage, the player who makes fewer mistakes wins. Consistency and composure beats flashy plays. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you want to know the secret to skyrocket your win rate in Clash Royale, click on this video. Bye.